Welcome to another report, and here's your host, John Cuckoo.
Hey, I'm back. Been on a hiatus, trying to get things going in the real world. So I took a break from the cyberspace, but I am back, and gonna make it short and sweet as I can, talking about sports. First, we're gonna start off with MMA. Recently watched Bellator. I will say that I wish Rampage, the whole Rampage thing, I hope it gets back on track. He's obviously the biggest draw that Bellator has, besides Michael Chandler, maybe Joe Warren, and Bobby Lashley. So hopefully he can make his return and get back to doing what he was doing. It'd be better if him and Emmanuel Newton weren't training partners or whatever, because it would be nice to see those two go at it. For Stephen and Tito, it happened exactly how I thought it would. Tito winning by unanimous decision. I think we split about it. Bonner has always been the type that loses in his biggest fights, and it showed once again. Next up, UFC. Frankie Edgar, once again on top of his game, constantly stays in a title picture. So kudos to him. It's going to be a great fight between him, Jose Aldo, also like Kicking the Door. His theme music by Biggie. So that was good as well. It's going to be a great fight though. Jose Aldo, the only Brazilian holding a UFC title right now. Hopefully he can retain. I like Edgar, one of my favorites, but hopefully Jose Aldo can keep Brazilian MMA relevant. Not saying it is irrelevant, but I'll say relevant in the UFC. Renan Barão, I think it was messed up how things happened with him, but hopefully, I think he should have got an immediate title shot, but if he has to fight anybody, hopefully he's successful in that fight and he goes on to fight TJ Dillashaw, and I think he does have a good chance of getting his title back. Just wasn't expecting what Dillashaw had. A lot of people underestimated TJ, and he showed that he can get down with the best bantamweights, and he did that night. Moving on from MMA. Oh, before I move on, hopefully John Jones comes back soon. Also one of my favorites. Love watching his fights. Near moving on. The Boston Celtics. Hopefully Rondo and Green aren't traded. If they are, then I guess I'll have to find somebody to like on the Celtics. Solinger, too inconsistent right now. Fell in love with that three-point shot. It would be okay if he was a more Bosch type player, but he's looking more like a Josh Smith. Too inconsistent. Josh Smith is not a small forward, by the way. I don't know why Detroit puts him at small forward at times. That's not his position. He's a power forward through and through. So hopefully Rondo and Green stays. But if they're shipped off, then hopefully we can get something or someone for it. It would be better if they stayed and pieces can be brought around them, but we don't really have any pieces that we can ship off. Bass might be an interesting piece. Soldier, like I said, too inconsistent. And Olenek, he's a player that we should keep. Evan Turner might be a player that can be shipped off if he can boost his stat line this year, since he had a down year in Indiana. And Marcus Thornton is a shooter. You know, a lot of teams like shooters, so maybe he can be used. Hopefully those guys will stay. Football, FSU still rolling, doing their thing. The only bad thing about that is Jameis still having off the field issues, and that's become a recurrent thing now. Hopefully he can mature, become a more professional player off the field as he is on the field. And so hopefully he can mature in that. Manziel was a player who had a few problems off the field as well, but you know, haven't really heard too much drama going on with him lately. So hopefully Jameis does the same thing and becomes a more mature guy. And last but not least, tackling the wrestling world, Sting made his epic debut in WWE. Didn't get a big reaction as he should have gotten, but you know, it's 10 years too late. This should have happened 10 years ago. This should have been how the invasion angle had started. We should have been seeing not only Sting but Goldberg, Diamond Dallas Page, Booker T, all of these guys. Unfortunately, some guys were stuck in contract or something, however that worked, and Sting wasn't feeling it. One thing that he said that made him second think coming to WWE was when Booker T and The Rock segment, Rock asked Booker T, "Who in the blue hell are you?" And that was kind of like saying, okay, you're relevant, you're not relevant, you know. And that's far from the truth, because at the time, WCW, before the ending of the company, they were on top, producing quality matches. Storylines were, they had a few good storylines, mainly the NWO and Sting taking out every member. Goldberg's debut in streak 100 and something. I don't know where it ended at, but that was amazing. But anyway, that's how the invasion angle should have originally went. Unfortunately, it didn't go that way, and but yeah, hopefully this thing with Triple H, you know, it actually goes somewhere and it doesn't end up in Triple H burying the final star of WCW. He's already done so with Booker T, Scott Steiner, Goldberg. And the biggest nail was Sting, because he was the franchise of WCW. Hopefully, this is not going to Vince's closures of WCW. I think that since we can't go back, that it would have been better had Sting debut at Royal Rumble, because it's the pay-per-view, my favorite WWE pay-per-view, by the way, that, you know, it has surprises. You never know who's coming out. I think the lights cut off. The lights turn out at Royal Rumble. Everybody assumed it's The Undertaker and then it's Sting, and you know, I think that would have been a better way to go about it, but you know, watching him clear out the ring like he cleared out the ring at in WCW with the NWO, you know, that would have been amazing to watch. Nostalgia moment would have been epic. But hopefully the way it is now doesn't turn out to be the burial, the official final burial of WCW. Hopefully, if possible, Sting actually wins this feud if it does go on to be a full out feud between him and Hunter. One thing I can say about Triple H is, even though he has buried a few wrestlers, not just WCW guys, is he's honest. You know, it was one thing last week that he was saying about not being as popular as the other wrestlers, and that's true. I don't consider him to be more popular or even better than the likes of The Rock, Stone Cold, Shawn Michaels, Undertaker. And if those guys, if he had never married Stephanie, then, you know, where would Triple H be? Would he still be as big as he became, or would he be, you know, just an afterthought in the company? Great mid-card wrestler. A lot of people have asked that question before. But that's all for now. Said all I had to say for today. Now I touched on every topic I had to touch on at this moment. So until next time, I'll be back next time doing something probably different but still random. So I'm out. Have a nice day.